Hey everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis, and I'm Scott. So we finished those 70 Space Marines, and let me tell you, or Space Wolves, it was a little bit of a chore. More so, I believe, than what we've worked on so far. And I'm currently working on their Land Raider right now, so all we have left is Land Raider, the Stormfang, or whatever the heck, gunship, and 8 or 9 drop pods. And then we are done. But what became a chore, just to give you guys an idea, and I'm probably gonna have to change my focus here, is we take a look. Hold on a second. What became a chore was some of the well, I realized that I had to model a chainsword on them. And in the process of doing so, I really didn't want it to look stupid. And everything that I've read, you know, pretty much everything is magnetized to them. So that was more believable for me. Now, they're not all, you know, as we'll say straight across as this particular one was. But I also needed it to be in such a way that when you had the, you know, the models that, one second, here we go. When you have the models that have all of the, you know, little tassels and things like that on there, I didn't want to ruin that or ruin my ability to do anything with it. So I think it didn't come out too bad, but I mean, it was a lot of chain swords to find. I guess I forgot, you know, that I had so many Wolfpack guys that did not have the bolter in one hand and then the chain sword in the other. So anyway, all of that is said and done, and we've got a, you know, pile of them over here. As a matter of fact, he can go in there now. The Space Wolves, and we are working on the Land Raider. Now, the Land Raider is basically constructed. We're just putting on. I'm putting on some of the exterior stuff because in order for me to decorate this like I'd like to, I need to go ahead and know what I'm working with. So that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. I'm not, you know, going full bore trying to get the guns and everything magnetized and done right now, but this is, you know, essentially what I'm working on at the moment, because my plan, I mean, I'm sure it might seem a little, I don't know, I'm going to try to keep it from being too you know, condensed or whatever you want to call it, but with all the stuff. But my plan is to implement all of these shields that I have on here in such a way to bring, you know, great detail to the Land Raider. Also, I have the heads ready of the wolf heads to go on the sides. I'm working on the doors right now for some detail as well. Of course, this one doesn't have any on it yet, but that's the goal here, and so that's what I'm working on at the moment. And if you happen to get on and you're checking this channel out and you're new to the channel, thank you for showing up. Please do me a favor, you know, like, share, comment, definitely comment, and subscribe. And we you know, hopefully you're enjoying the journey with us if you've been around this whole time. Some of this stuff, you know, I mean, I don't have any Space Wolf, you know, doors or anything like that, and I'm not exactly sure like what it would even look like, to be honest with you, but I think we're doing pretty, you know, pretty well with the stuff we have left over, and I think it's going to turn out pretty good. So, but basically that's what we're working on at the moment. I'm not worried about putting turrets together and that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to, you know, get the things out of the way that I need to, so that I know what I'm working with. And I've learned, I've figured out another method, and unfortunately I can't show it to you at the moment because I've already done it. But I've learned another method for getting your Land Raider doors to work relatively flawlessly, and a big part of that is gluing the two wheels on the inside to the actual doors. And I mean, it takes some time to let them dry, because you have to make sure that there's no possible way that the glue can find its way to the side and then glue your doors, you know, together or shut or open. That being said, I also figured out a better way to, as far as gluing, the method I wanted to glue the tracks on, so that again, we don't get glue on there. But I'll tell you what it really boils down to is finding something else to do. Glue that stuff together right then and there, you know, the best that you can. Don't glue it all up, and let it sit and work on something else, which is exactly what I did here. I was working on all the other stuff for the Land Raider decorations and whatnot before I started, you know, doing this stuff. Let's see here. Okay. And as you guys know, I'm obviously going to magnetize the weapons or whatever. But more than likely, this Land Raider is going to be a Land Raider Crusader. You know, a bunch of bolters, unless there's something in the Space Wolves Codex that I have that says you can't do that. I don't think so, though. But it doesn't matter. And apologies that we weren't here around 8. I'm trying to shoot for that time every day to go live. The issue lies in the fact that my little man, my little boy, he was running around enjoying life, and wanted to enjoy it with him a little bit, as well as, you know, he's very vocal, so probably wouldn't have went over well for the stream. But yep, we are just cutting a bunch of plastic and kit bashing, conversions, all kinds of stuff. Okay, why is that one not going in there? There it goes. I didn't think that one was in there. It is now. Okay, now I better put these on just in case. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with so far how this is coming along. This time I didn't use, you know, Black Templar doors or anything like that. And in my mind, you know, the Space Wolves are going to be a little more tribal in a way. Meaning they're going to have more totems and things like that. So I've got a plan for that. I still want to be able to put all of my, you know, bells and whistles, if you will, on here. But, you know, as far as, you know, radar dishes and hunter killer missile and all that kind of stuff. But the goal is to, when this you know, Land Raider hits the table, it's the centerpiece, if you will, for my Space Wolves army. You know, it's, you know, without a doubt, it's Space Wolves. Forget the other people. That you know that the Space Wolves have arrived. We'll put it that way. So what I did was, because I had the extra head from the Thunderwolf cavalries, I had to cut the ear headpiece part, and that's going to go essentially right here on the Land Raider, and I think it's going to look great. Now there will be a gap back here, but I'm not really concerned about that at all. I mean, if you're really looking for that, I mean, again, this is not a painting contest army. This is a have fun and you know, I mean, really enjoy yourself, Army, you know, and gaming. And I think it's going to be great. I've got to figure out what we're doing next. Like I said, I think I said this before. I'm kind of thinking about doing Tau. I mean, not Tau. Good grief. Death Watch next, and Grey Knights. But the Tau kind of are in the way right now as far as getting stuff put in the glass cabinets. Well, I mean, I guess I could put them on the floor or something like that, but either way, I don't know. Do I want to tuck that up there, or do I want it over here? I'm thinking, I don't know, it seemed like it was right to put it tucked in, but then it seemed like that's a lot of gap for no reason. So I'm gonna move that up. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Alright, go ahead and decorate this side with the other half of the wolf's head. Let's size it up first. There we go. Yeah, that looks really good. Of course, if I didn't drop it on the floor, that'd be better. Or rather, on the box. Yeah, I'm going to be really proud of this Space Wolves army, I can tell you that. Really proud. Come forward just a little more. Come up just a little more. Yep, there we go. Lined up perfect. Well, hey bud, right on. So yeah, this is basically what we're looking at, if I can turn that around correctly. I think that looks pretty good. And there's one on each side. You know, plus this stuff on the hood there. Or the hood, the, you know, top of the gang plank ramp, whatever. Alright. So now, what we want to do, I think what we're going to do next is we're going to focus on these shields and figuring this out. We got a bunch of different parts here. We got a couple of, you know, horns that are going to be hanging off of this thing, which I'm looking forward to putting on. I really want to put these shields all over this thing to give it detail and depth. Just not entirely sure where they need to go. We've got a lot of wolf skulls. I know that I'm gonna probably put one. Okay, well that answers that question. Alright, so hold on a second. Where is... There it is. So I know I want to put a shield on the outskirts of this thing. Yeah, so that's gonna fit just nicely. So we need two of the same kind, and I know that I thought that I used one already. Maybe I didn't. No, I did not. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm gonna use, oh, I did use one. That's right, I used it on the hood. Alright, so we can't use that one. I think what I'm gonna use is I'm gonna use these. Oh, am I gonna use the claws? Let's sort this out here for a second. So we know we got one of these. Oh, you know what? That's what we could do. Okay, we got it. So we're gonna put these claws like this, and we're gonna put the wolf's head shield on the armament shield. That'll work. And then we'll just put, you know, yep, that'll work. That's gonna be awesome. All right, well, that went together faster than I thought it was going to. All right, so let's see if we can't get this on here the way I'd like it to be. All right. These shields are really nice. I mean, they were for the Thunderhammer, you know, Terminators or Assault Terminators, but I don't know. I needed more DACA, and I've got so many, you know, close combat troops now with, you know, with your wolf pack being able to be close combat. I mean, that kind of changes everything. 2 attacks per space wolf, you know, in my entire army. That's awesome. I mean, minus your characters, which obviously will have more. So let's see here. Trying to get this thing lined up. Yeah, this is gonna be nice. And then we'll put the other one about the same height on the other side. Just can't block the door is all. Okay, so that'll work. Yeah, this will work out great. Yeah, that's gonna look good, and it's gonna look even better, you know, once it's all painted. And that's the key, you know, is I wanna bring depth to my army with the details. So now, one thing I will probably have to do whenever I get around to buying the shoulder pads, you know, the Space Wolves chapter upgrades, is I'll have to go back and pop off, you know, 70 or so shoulder pads, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Oh yeah, that looks good. Question is, are they level? I think this one needs to come down just a hair. I've got a great eye for this. I don't really need to get a line out or anything, but what's happening is the glue is allowing it to slide slightly. Have to move it over slightly. It's a little too far towards the door. Alright, we're let that glue itself down for a little bit. Adjust the angle of that shield. Yeah, those wolf heads look really sharp. I like that. And then this is the door that goes on here. So that's not too bad. I'm sure I could put something else on, but I don't know. In this case, I think less is more with the door itself. And surprisingly, with this door, I don't have to put any paper on it to make it stay in the door. Of course, that may change, over time. Excuse me if I, keep removing it or whatever, but right now it's staying. So that's good. Alright, well while we let that dry, and we'll undoubtedly put some more glue down inside, we're just gonna let that dry for the moment. And let me just check and make sure. Yeah, okay. Let's work on this. Oh, let's work on this door right here. So we've got one shield left that has not been used, and this shield, the other one's there. I'm thinking this shield will work perfectly right there, dead center in the door. We could even bring it up and cover up the Imperial Aquila, and we could put, something else down. I've got a couple of these. Let me zoom that in for you guys. Hold on. See if I can change that for you. Not sure what's going on there. Alright, well, I guess we can't do that unless I move it over here. There we go. So anyway, I've got a couple of these little banner things. I'd have to move this up pretty high, because if I don't, then this is going to be sticking off. I guess it doesn't really matter, but if I put this underneath, I thought it would be pretty neat. The only issue is that it's flowing in the wrong direction. So it's one of those things where you might just have to deal with it or live with it. And so I think that's what we're going to do, is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this shield on there, and we are going to put this banner on there. And then we've got a couple of these little Space Wolf like chain things, and I've got a ton of fur tails, which I plan on trying to implement every one of these into it. I've also got a couple of skulls here that I could use. Yeah, you know what, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the skulls on instead of these chain things. These chain things they remind me too much of Black Templars. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's get started. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little drop of glue right here in the middle to put that banner down. That way I don't have to mess with that. And then that should be good. So now I can take the shield itself, put some glue on the back here, and see if we can't put that in place right where we need it. Again, it's all about depth. I think this army is going to look fantastic. I think it really will. And then we're going to put a couple of these skulls on. Don't need a lot of glue. Now some of you may think to yourselves, man, why do those skulls look off center? They're not. The whole idea here is to give an abstract view in a way, as far as art's concerned, and believe it or not, that will draw the eye more than a uniformed appearance. It's kind of similar to being out somewhere, the woods, whatever, and all of a sudden you see movement or something that's out of place. Abstract view draws the attention, and that's the goal here. We've got two different kinds of skulls here, which is great. One looks like it's got kind of a bionic eye or something. Or maybe it's just... No, it's not a bionic eye, it's something else. But we have two different ones, so that's the good part. Just want to try to get it semi in line with the other one like it. And then we gotta straighten up this shield, which does not seem to be gluing down at the moment. So we're gonna put a little bit on the edge here and let it drip down. Now, one of the reasons I keep some of these pencils around, especially if they're already ruined or out of lead or whatever, is so I can move the glue around so it doesn't pool up in one particular area if I run into this problem where I have to, you know, essentially flood it with glue to let it do that, you know, so I don't get a puddle there, because obviously that's going to take up my detail, and then I'm going to be painting on top of that glue. No doubt some of it will, you know, evaporate, but that's beside the point. I don't want to have, you know, an entire puddle of glue there. Alright, that doesn't look too shabby to me. I like that. It's not... Just want to move this head a little bit. Yep, that looks pretty good. Shield's in place now. Oh, nope, shield moved apparently. So it's not in place. Gotta line it up with the top of the door here. Of course, sticking to my fingers now. Gotta love it. Come on over, man. Sorry if my head's in the way. I'm trying to, or you guys probably, I probably didn't even have it in the camera. I'm trying to move this thing over slightly. There we go. Now we're talking. But that means that this has to move over slightly too, which is a lot easier than moving the shield, of course. There we go. Yeah, no, that looks pretty good. And I mean, there's plenty of room here to put other stuff on, but I mean, is it really necessary? Is, you know, the question that you have to ask yourself. And if, other than these little, you know, wolf tails or wolf furs, I would say, if it was anything else, I'd say no. But these little things right here, you know, these little tassels, if you will, they make a great, in my opinion, they make a great, what am I trying to call it? They break up the outline of the shield really nicely so that it's not just one big flat piece. And again, bringing action in a way to the model. And we have a ton of them. I mean, literally, I mean, what I have here is like nothing compared to what's left on the sprues. I mean, I can pull these things everywhere. I'm just kind of seeing how I'd like this to be. I don't really have a method at the moment. That looks good. I like that. And that will help cover up some of the pooled up glue that we had on the side there. And I'll put one on the other side as well. games with me. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice. Kind of like it's bolted into the shield, and then it's just draped over those skulls a little bit. That looks good. Yeah, that looks good. I think that's plenty for this door. So we'll let that sit off to the side. We should have had enough time now for these shields over here to have glued themselves together. Looks like they're pretty dry, so that's good. So now we're gonna put the other ones on this side and try to be careful as we do it so we don't break off our sponson stuff. You know what just occurred to me? Oh my gosh, please say no. Okay, for some reason I thought maybe I put those shields on upside down. Oh boy. Anyway. Okay. Now these shields had hands on the inside, so I did have to cut the hands off, or at least down a little bit. Not a big deal, just get your clippers in there and it's one clip. But you want to do it kind of level, so that way your yeah, I thought that came down more. So that way you're using the rest of the hand as the connection point to the shields. I'm sorry, to the Land Raider. Because the shield is not, you know, unless you carve all that out, which I don't really want to do. I would like it sticking off, you know. The shield is, hold on. The shield is going to essentially, you know, be raised or whatever, which is what I'm striving for. Okay. Or maybe I was talking about the shield would be down, but oh, that's what it was. If you don't use that piece on the inside, then you're gonna be relying on the the edges of your shield on the right and left. And the problem with that is it's a very weak glue point, very weak, and you know, you just don't have a whole lot there to work with. And again, I think it would look better. It won't look smashed on the thing, you know, if you do it this way, in my opinion. Plus on the edge over here where I'm putting this shield, there, if I had to, there would be nothing for me to connect this side right here, you know, to. It would be, you know, I mean, it'd be either the shield would be leaning over to one side, or you know, you would just have the one connection piece, and I don't think that would look good. Now, let's just say you did the opposite of what I said to do, and then you realize, oh man, this sucks, why did I do that? Easy fix. Go back in there, scrape it out, get you a piece of sprue, and build that, you know, just put it right there in the middle, or build it up as maybe it's 2 sprues, I don't know, you know, or turn the sprue on its side, and there you have your connection point. So it's not hard to do or fix, and that looks pretty good. Now this is probably not completely dry, so we're going to try to be careful with it, but I do want to see how this looks and if I'm going to need that piece that I always have to make. And it's looking to me like we are going to have to put that you know, the I'm trying to bring this up so you guys can see it. We are going to have to put that piece of paper on the side there for this door. But as you guys can see, you know, we're getting some serious detail on here, which is great. Yeah, that'll fall right out. But we're gonna have to wait for that to really glue, because if I start messing around, it's all gonna fall apart. All right, So the next thing I want to do is, we have a ton of these wolf pelt backpack things that hang off, and unfortunately you can tell that it's a backpack because, or I mean, you know, the connection point to the chest piece. I don't need a lot of these, I only need a couple. But what I was thinking about doing was, if I can find a way to strip it, and I think I can do it at least on, you know, on the tops. Actually, I just figured it out. We're going to strip this down and we're going to slide it underneath those shields, which was another reason I wanted to have the shields raised up from, you know, the Land Raider, if that makes sense to you. Just got to be careful here I don't cut too deep. Okay, and then I'm not quite sure that's enough, but we're gonna test fit it. Okay, it's not. So what I'm gonna do probably now is I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the backing off, because it's just too much. I'm gonna see how this works. I already have one cut here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Probably could have used that one first just to test it, but it is what it is. And then we'll slide that underneath there like that. Of course, we've got the head to deal with. I got an idea. We're going to trim this down just a hair. And if you remember from the beginning of my videos on the Space Wolves, I had talked about putting pelts all over this thing in some manner. Yeah, okay, now we're talking. Yeah, that looks good. And if we just kind of kick it out some, you can see all of it. Yep, that'll work. That will work. Because, I mean, honestly, otherwise, to me, it's just going to look like one big gray blob. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, you got the entire army looking like that. So I don't want that. Basically like that, if you can make that out okay. And it worked out, in my opinion, good, where a piece of it, you know, of the pelt looks like it's waving in the wind, and it's actually on top of part of the sponson, which is completely fine. Got a little too much glue here that I can do anything with, so go ahead and soak that up. Some napkins from Subway. And then I'm going to do the same thing back here on this one. Only I'm going to turn it differently, I think. If I can. The only issue is putting that door in, or will be putting that door in. But I think we can manage it. Yeah, we'll get that. That'll be good. Okay. And there's other ways to break this stuff up too. I mean, you know, if you're worried about, oh, well, it all looks the same, trust me, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. So I'm doing this because I had some glue pull up in the fur. So I'm just spread loading that glue around the fur, thin it out. Oh yeah, this is gonna look great. And back here, you know, I mean, if I want to make this thing look a little different than that, you know, I've got, I mean, hell, you know, where do we want to put the horn? Maybe the horn goes up there, you know. Maybe we take one of these chain things and put it over top, or we go back to these little fur deals and stick them underneath there, and we just make them go different ways, which I think actually is a damn good idea right now. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Well, we're gonna wait until this glues down though, because looks like I'm already screwing with it too much. But that is awesome. All right, so I need to find 2 more. Shouldn't be a problem, actually. Yep, there they are, 2 more. Now, I don't know how realistic in my mind that it would be to do this to the Stormfang, but you know, we'll have to see, you know, how we feel about that. I mean, it could be a thing, I don't know. I made this wolf's helmet, or head, sorry, and I haven't, you know, this idea that I'm going to put this on here somehow, but I may or may not, I don't know. Maybe I save it for that, you know. It's kind of a hood ornament, but I was going to put it right here, but then I realized it would be in the way of the assault cannons, so I couldn't do that. And you'll have that, man. You'll come up with plans and it just doesn't work, you know. But what I have in my mind right now is to take this wolf's head and put it along with this totem here together, and then, you know, put it on, let's see, I don't know if you guys will be able to make this out or not, if it's even worth trying to show it. But anyway, you got this totem that's got an orc skull on it and some other skulls, and then just kind of putting this wolf's head, I don't know if it'll stay or not, like that in a way, and then mounting that on the Land Raider somewhere. Maybe, hell, now that I think about it, maybe I could put it on top of the assault cannon. I don't know, how high would that be? It wouldn't be too high, I guess. We'll see. But right now, these pelts are working out really nice, like I was hoping. Hey Mick, what's going on, man? We're on our last bit, man. We got the Land Raider, the Stormfang, and drop pods left. All the Marines are put together. Let's see here. I think I want to have that billowing out more, so we're gonna need to glue this side. Stick that up in there. I think the Land Raider is the, you know, next to the Baneblade, is the most iconic tank in 40K in my opinion. But that's just me. Now the only issue you run into with doing stuff like this is if you want to put them in cases, you know, because now you're gonna have problems with stuff sticking out, and you'll have to make the, you know, the foam part bigger if you're using foam. All right, so we got that one on there. I think we'll, for diversity, and we'll just lay this one more flat then. Let me see here. 1 second. Alright, I'm going to let that sit for a second. Alright, I think the other side is dry enough now that we can start putting some of those little wolf tassels on. Again, to break up the, you know, what it was we just did. Now, obviously, this is going to be a lot of painting, but it's going to be worth it in the end. I can promise you. Nope, excuse me, my attack squig being retarded. Yeah, if you take a look at this, if I can do it without messing anything up, see how we've got that, you know, kind of three-dimensional feel going on. I mean, yeah, the tassels, or the, you know, whatever they are, these wolf tails right here, they stick out a lot more. But it's because they're waving in the wind, in my opinion. I'm gonna put on some more light here. I think, yeah, I mean, obviously the camera's not gonna do it justice right now, but I think it looks really nice. And, you know, whatever conversions or kit bashing you do, if you know, if you think it looks nice, that's all that matters, right? You're the one playing with it, you're the one paying for it, and you're the one painting it. So we're gonna, ooh, we got a lot of glue dripping on this one. What happened there? Where that came from. Let's get a tassel stuck in there. Let's get them stuck in. say, I know we had one more. Man, if I'd have been one short, that'd have stunk. All right, let that sit for a little bit. In the meantime, we're gonna put together this assault cannon because I haven't really got it in my head about this totem, you know. Well, this is, I mean, for conversion stuff, cool. I would just tell you, as far as looking back on this, make sure you go back and look at how I put it together, because if you don't, you screw that door up, you're screwed. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to take your time with it for sure. So definitely get those clamps, man. And this might help Tristan as well. He may enjoy this for whatever he wants to convert. And you know, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably go to a store, you know, a toy store, you know, arts and crafts store, anything like that, and find anything that's remotely wolf or dog in nature. Cut the stuff off. You probably get a damn wolf or dog model for $1. You know, cut the tail off. You know, cut the thing in half and then cut out whatever it is that you needed. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do this. You know, in hindsight, I mean, who knows? Now, what am I missing here? Oh, that's what I'm missing. But again, the biggest thing is the patience and letting this stuff glue. And believe me, I mean, I violate that rule all the time, so. It is what it is. We'll come back to that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the way that looks. That looks really good, really detailed, really Viking boatish, if you will. I really like the way that my Terminators, excuse me. I really like the way that my Terminators came out, even though they all have helmets. My Wolfguard Terminators. Well, except for the oh gosh, what is his name? Arjack or something like that. I'm trying to remember now. I think that's his name. Let that sit for a second. Alright, get this piece right here. Now the question is, I know this will sit here on top of it. The question is, will it interfere with the cannon turning? I don't think so. And I actually thought about trying to find a way to, but now I see these assault cannons are too big, was to put the wolf's head in between them, or the guns through the wolf's head, which would have been cool, but that's not really going to work. Not to the point that I would enjoy it, I'll put it that way. Arjack Rockfist, that's right. Yep, absolutely. Let's see here. I've also got a ton of these banners that I'm probably never going to use. Let's see here. Is that glued yet? Okay. A little bit of glue on there for when it goes inside of itself. So did you buy a Land Raider, Cameron? Like, do you have one? Where is it? There we go. And I never glue these guns down. Never. All right. Right on, right on. I'm telling you, man, it's a heck of a model piece. So now that sits up there. The only thing that it would be blocking would be the storm bolter that I'm going to put on. Just, to me, that's just a great idea, putting that wolf's head up there and everything. Seems like it would be so awesome. But I can't just put the wolf's head up because I have nothing behind it, you know, to bridge that gap. It's kind of what this was for. Let's just see if we can get it glued somewhat. It's got to go high up ish. I may use my method of the sprue. I don't know, we'll see. Let that glue a little bit. It's not exactly center in there, that's for sure. Sit for a second. I just think that might look really cool up there. But I don't know. I don't know yet. What it would do for me is it would keep Rhino, Repulsor, and Razorback. Well, you should have bought two Razorbacks, because the top portion, I mean, you can turn it into a Rhino real easy if you really just needed a Rhino, or just say, hey, my guns aren't working. Or, you know, they're not on here or whatever. Just need to see how this is gonna look. Let me see if I can keep it from falling over or something. definitely going to block the storm bolter. Sort of kind of looks cool, but I also don't want it to look like a Nurgle Land Raider. I gotcha. Well, I mean, if you said a rhino and then a razorback, so, and they do sell the rhinos separately, or at least they used to. Man, just don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, I just had an idea. Oh, I did. Screw the storm bolter. What I'll do is I'll mount this head on the storm bolter thing, and we'll just say that's my storm bolter. How about that? Then I get my gun shooting through the mouth kind of deal. What do you guys think about that? Heck yeah, man. That's a great idea. Here, let me pull this thing up here. Yeah, that's gonna be great. Conversions for days. I think it's gonna be awesome. Alright. That, I think, will look better than the other plan. I guess the only issue you would have is the fact that there's no way that head would be retractable to go down inside. That's okay. I gotta build this part anyway, so we'll take a look at it first before we commit. Okay. Let's go. Well, I might need that. Might be pretty cool. I would just have to figure out how I'm gonna make the back of it look halfway decent. I mean, that doesn't look too bad. Sits about as high as a storm bolter. But again, I gotta do something with the back here to make it look, you know, mechanical, if you will. There's got to be something that I'm not going to use, or I know there's always something you don't use. I don't use this piece, so that could potentially be something. Cut this off, and then I fit that in there, and I go high with it. Yeah, that'll work. It's not like I'm going to use it anyway. This might be my favorite part of the hobby, but you know, kit bashing and converting, but it takes forever if you ever want to get anything done. It's just the way it goes. see. Okay. Have to trim it a little more. Unless we want to put it like that. Yeah. Go a little bit thinner, and we might just have it. I think that's gonna do it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's awesome. I'll just cut that little piece out right there. Yep, that's gonna do it. I just gotta glue this in here. Yeah, that's great. If I really wanted to get crazy, I could take some wires or something, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. So let's see if you guys can see what I'm doing here. Is I took the back of the Space Marine turret guy and I put that in there like so. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close, and then it's gonna sit down on top of this pintle mounted deal here, just like that. Seems like there'll be enough room for it to sit down over top of it, or I'll just clip off the pieces I need to clip off, which is what it looks like we're gonna have to do, but I need to let this dry first. Yeah, that'll be good to go. I could probably cut that a little more and fit it up tighter. I think I'm gonna do that too. That way it'll go up in there further. Yeah, there we go. Now we don't have to see that gap too much. Just need to twist it some. Once that's all painted in black, you're probably not even going to notice it. Plus, you're going to have the big multi-melta behind it. So, none of that's going to matter either. Yeah, that's going to be epic. Oh, be quiet. My attack squig is protesting. Alright, let's put a little more glue in these connection points on the shields. Just because I don't think that one actually did anything. There it goes. I mean, there's nothing that's going to guarantee that you don't knock these things off over time, but you know, which vehicles transport the most troops that have impulsors? I know some Black Templar people have said Land Raider Crusaders are good for Black Templars. That's correct. So, all right, so your your Land Raider is going to carry, excuse me, up to 10 Terminators, and I believe up to 15 Space Marines. Your repulsor is only going to carry, which makes no sense to me whatsoever, it's only going to carry 10 Primaris, I believe, and Space Marines for whatever reason can't get in it. Drop pods, of course, carry 10 Space Marines. Let me look at this real quick. Oh, and Land Raiders can't take Primaris. So Alright, Land Raider Crusader. Oh, okay, I apologize. It says it can transport up to 16 Space Wolves infantry, so I would assume it'd be the same for your Black Templars. And that would make sense. Well, Black Templars. Yeah, I mean, you could have, if I'm not mistaken, you can have up to, man, I think you can have up to 25 or maybe 30, you know, Marines in a unit, because you get the neophytes in there or whatever. Yeah, it says can transport 16 Space Wolves infantry models. Jump Pack, Terminator, or Wolfram models take the place of 2 other models. It cannot transport Primaris. So that's one thing I guess that has changed, that you can put Jump Pack guys in here. So that's crazy. You could run this up the board with Jump Pack dudes, you know, specifically Black Templars, and jump out. I don't know. I have no idea. I've got a repulsor tank that is not put together along with a million other models. But you know, it might be. I don't know. When I start playing again, which I hope will be soon, I'm gonna have to start slow to really understand a lot of the stratagems and that kind of stuff, because I mean, I never really got into all that stuff, and when I first started playing, they didn't exist. So it seems to me like a lot of folks rely on those to be able to win, and I think if you took them away for whatever reason, I'm not gonna say they can't win, but it would be harder for them to do so. Let's see if that'll fit on there. Man, I'm so glad I did this. So I could do it. Oh, that's the problem. It's not, it's the bottom of his head is the problem. Okay. Well, I can still glue that on there. Look at that. Boom. Actually, it fits right in the gap that I have here. Let's see. If I can line that up. I hear you, man. Wait. Crap, I'm going the wrong way. Going the wrong way. In the wrong ambush site. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Just gotta get it to lean over the way I want it to. So this is what we're looking at, guys. make this work out right or not. There we go. So there's the head on the pintle mount for the storm bolter. Hold on. And then on the back, as you can see, we've got a little bit of, you know, some kind of, you know, whatever, mechanical something. So it's not just a big hole back there. Now it looks a lot better in person than it does on the camera. Then when we put it on the Land Raider, let's see if we can. Let's see if I can do this without dropping it. What do you guys think about that? Does that look good or what? So we've got that wolf's head in place of the actual storm bolter, and you know, that is my storm bolter. What do you think? I think it looks awesome. I think it gives some character, uniqueness, and unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, my other Space Marine armies may not end up being ever played with again. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. I like that. I like that a lot. Alright. Well, let's see. I wanted to put something on top of this assault cannon. Something. We've got plenty of little icons and stuff we can do. So we're going to cut the back off of this. Cool. Yeah, that's the one of the two heads I had left, or a head that you would have left from three person or 3 unit Thunderwolf cavalry. So it's doable by anyone. Yeah, we're gonna put this right here. The only Land Raider that might be decked out more will probably be my Nurgle Land Raider. The question's gonna be, how the heck am I gonna do that since they can't carry Primaris? And now that I think about that, I may not have Nurgle Land Raider. It may be just for regular Chaos Space Marines. So I'll have to think about that one. That's actually the next glass case over, is nothing but chaos in there. That is not laying right, so apparently we didn't quite get that level enough. Yeah, I like how that came out. That's really awesome. That wolf's head on there. There we go. I need to cut this little piece of flashing out. Alright. I can tell you this, putting that head there was not the original idea, but it sure does look nice. There we go. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is start putting the other embellishments on the top here before we start getting crazy decorating anymore, because we're going to have stuff in the way. So smoke launchers, things like that, you know. better move this stuff out of the way before I lose it in my pile of bits. There we go. Alright. Need this piece. Need that. It's gonna be enjoyable playing this army. I just know it. It will be a little boring putting together all the drop pods, but since I have a really good system, it's not that big a deal. Just put on a movie and next thing you know, they're done. And listen, if you, I'm not affiliated with him, but if you have not watched Heavy Flamer Heresy by Russian Badger, you are missing out. And if you've never played the game Space Hulk Deathwing, it's a great review of it in a way. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says because I really enjoy the game, even the single player. But he's right. You know, it can be a little repetitive, but that's Space Hulk in general. But that being said, it's hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious. Heavy Flamer Heresy by Russian Badger, and I mean, it's just really funny. Okay, need this. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched that video. He's probably got, I think it's got like 75 million or 7,500,000 views or something like that. But it's, I mean, I've probably contributed at least 100 views. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me. All right. It's all guns. All right, so let's get this done before we put any other decorations on this thing and screw it up. I also found out today that, you know, it's up to you, but I've also found out today that even if you put a dislike on the channel, it helps the channel. So I don't know, man. There's no real way to figure this algorithm out, I guess. It's a little bit crazy. Maybe people look and go, why did they dislike it? But alright, let's put this smoke launcher on. Now I have measurement points that I use all over here whenever I put these things on. That's why I'm, you know, I mean, it's pretty standard for all my stuff, so especially Land Raiders. So that's how I'm able to just throw that on there like that and not mess around with it really. It's not to say that it doesn't happen, but get it relatively accurate with each other. And sometimes you'll get a little bit of an optical illusion. But in the case of these smoke launchers, it's better to go too far forward, so that way when you push back if you have to. Yeah. Any excess glue or whatever will be underneath the shadow of, you know, the smoke launcher itself, so you won't have to worry about anything. Man, that wolf's head is amazing for a storm bolter. That's just, I really dig that. All right, cut this out. Then I gotta trim it. And I never believed in all my life I'd own as many Land Raiders or Marines as I do. It's crazy. It really is. And we're just getting started. And I don't even, I can't even fathom right now how many Tyranids I have. I gotta have at least 1,000 Tyranids, I'm thinking. If not, at least 500. But it's got to be more than that. It's got to be. And that's not including the Genestealer cult. Alright, let's see here. This one's always a pain. But I've been wanting to try something new. Try to put it in there first and then glue from the top. Seemed to work. It was better than doing it the other way. If you heard that noise, that was my attack squig moaning, because apparently I'm disturbing her sleepy time. She's like, shut up over there. I'm trying to sleep. What the heck is today anyway? Thursday? That's it? Man. Alright, I'll let that sit there and dry for a minute. Better let it dry out here because there might be some glue seeping out and I don't want to glue it in place. Alright, let's put the Hunter Killer missile together. And while that's gluing, we'll put together some other stuff. What in the world? There it goes. That sit there. Let's glue the radar dish together. Got a little burr off of there. Sounds like we've got some really strong winds out there tonight. The searchlight together. If I had an extra searchlight, I might have used the back of this for the back of this head, but I don't know that it would have worked out. I think it might have been too small. Yeah, I think it would have been too small. Okay, let's put this antenna thing on. Antenna array. Again, lining it up how I like. Yeah, I like my antennas to be straight. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this. Actually, we'll put the searchlight on next. Oop, need to. Smooth out the bottom there. That seems lined up. All right, man. I'll see you later, Cameron. Okay. Actually, I'll put this on first. What I do, for those of you that don't know, is I put the storm bolter, you know, since there's nobody holding on to it, I put the pintle mount handles down as the launcher platform for my hunter killer missile, since it's only one shot anyway. And I've had, in my opinion, great success with enjoying the way it looked. So, you know, just making sure that, you know, I would enjoy it. And then I just I just set this down on top of it at an angle. And it works out pretty well. Just gotta hold it for a second or two. Like that. Except, crap. There was a piece on here I didn't get off. Oh, that stinks. Alright. While a not so nice fact, I will tell you this. If you happen to get something to stick to your fingers and it pulls off any little bit of skin, you just added a bond to your crazy glue that will cause whatever it is you're gluing and what you're gluing it to stick a lot faster. just something to consider. Because that's exactly what just happened. Alright. So, put the dish on. Oh, trim the bottom of this one too. No! Almost dropped it on the floor. Not enough glue there. Alright. Looks like everything's holding on pretty good, so that's good. Of course, again, I have no doubt that there's a possibility you might, break those off, at some point, but that's why you want to be gentle with the model or what have you. Alright, so let's put that up there now. Yeah, this is looking pretty awesome, gotta say. Multi-melted going. I didn't actually expect to get this one done, or even close to this done tonight, this close, or I mean this quickly. Gosh, I can't even speak right now. Must be too much excitement. I'm definitely excited though. This turned out great. Really great, man. Oh, that's right. I was going to put a wolf head on this dude. And wolf helmet. Yeah, we'll put the Techmarine thing on him. But I've got a Space Wolf, an actual Space Wolf shoulder pad that I saved just for this guy. Alright. So that's it for that. Let's go ahead and put this together. Oh, I dropped it. Looks good. Let's get this thing going here. Flashing on there, we got to cut off. Always seems to sneak up on me, that's for sure. Of course, I have tons of models waiting to be really cleaned up once I get to the painting process. But I have taken my time with the Land Raiders. Those I have cleaned up as I've put them together. And I got all the gun barrels to drill. Oh goodness, it's gonna be something. Why is that not? Doesn't seem like it's fitting in there correctly. Okay, I see it now. I'm missing something. Oh, this. Duh. Try not to break this. Okay. Let's get this guy on here. Line him up with the gun. That's what I typically do. The problem is the way the shoulders are made. There's a slight bend, like twist in it. They didn't actually make it square, and so when you go and put the arms on, they still turn to the right, I believe, or well, right or left, I forget. But had a parcel delivery at my front door. My magnifiers have turned up. Had some paints turn up yesterday. Same place I bought the airbrush. I have models to build, but I'm going to try painting a few. Oh, you're never gonna get that army done. No, I'm kidding, dude. You gotta do what keeps you involved in the hobby. Believe me, I really want to start painting some of this stuff, but I gotta stay focused on putting it all together. And the other part is, a lot of the armies will have the same, not only the same undercoat scheme, but also a darker tone to them. So I'll need to paint, batch paint the heck out of everything. And believe me, I'll be wearing a mask that day because my nose will be completely freaking stuffed by the time I'm done, I'm sure. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't be the first army I put together, let alone multiple armies at once. Painting, I mean. Let go of my finger. Hey, it's not often you get it put on almost the way it should be the first time, that's for sure. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, now I just need to pull the bits box out, grab that freaking, the wolf's head and the thing. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to put that thing on there. I'm going to put this one on there. More fur for the fur god. Alright, where is this the one? Yep. Cool. More fur for the fur god. Be right back. Grab some water here. How many coats should you do? I like the look of the undercoat black on its own already. Do I really need to paint black again? Okay, so no. The answer is no. You do not need to paint black again in that regard. What I would tell you though is you're probably going to want a zenithal highlight. So you will end up painting black, sort of, just not the whole thing. Okay. And what do you know what a zenithal highlight is? Basically, you know, the zenith of the sun, if you will. And so you'd paint everything black, and then you would go over it with a light gray or a white just over the top of it. Okay. Not underneath or on the side, just over the top, and that will help outline some of the stuff. And then you would go back over that with a black again, but you know, sparingly, so that way it's what am I trying to say? It's it lets the topper portions of your armor and stuff stand out. Okay. You'll want to experiment first so you can see what I'm talking about and try to get your pattern down, but it doesn't take a lot of paint. If you're not concerned about going, you know, that route and being that detailed with it, you could spray paint that thing black, you know, outline all your panels, you know, or dry brush it would actually be, that's something else you could do, is you could dry brush down all over your model with a light gray, and then go back and clean up, you know, everything with black, with thin coats of black, really thin. And I don't know about I guess you mean how bothered you are about that much detail. I was dreading painting in the first place. Okay, well then listen, the dry brush is the method for you. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Get yourself like a makeup brush or something. Do I even have a brush around here? Let me see here. Okay, so let me try to explain this best I can. I don't have any paint here, but this model right here is actually everything on him. If we can see it, you see all those little outlines on him? There are very few that I actually painted. The rest is dry brush, and all I did was put you know, enough paint on the brush to turn around and then just hit the edges, you know, a little bit. And when I say enough paint on the brush, I mean no paint. So you're gonna basically put paint in a palette. You know, don't get in the, you know, up here at the top of your brush, right? You just want to keep it down here, you know, halfway and lower. Mix it all up in your brush. Probably use a you know, either a makeup brush or an old brush for this. I wouldn't use, like, you know, a nice brush. And then you're gonna wipe it off on a paper towel, you know, until there's almost no paint coming off. And you're gonna think, well, what the heck's the point? Trust me, there's paint on there. There's enough that you could screw up your model. And when you're not really seeing any paint at all, then you go back and you just go over those, you know, you just go over those raised edges, you know, just barely dragging it over the top. And that's all you need to do. And it will bring out the edges, you know, you'll love it. And then, you know, and if you feel like you put a little too much or whatever, then you just go back over it lightly with some, you know, thinned out black paint or what have you, and it'll fix it. Let's see here, is that glued now? Okay, good. Let me pull this off of here. Let's get this but I mean, as far as playing though, you know, paint it black, put a couple of red dots in the eyes, paint the shoulder pads white, throw the decals on, man, and base it, and you're done. I mean, honestly, I mean, if you don't really care about any of the detail, what I see most guys do when they, you know, or what ends up happening when they do that is they become dissatisfied with the army. They don't want to do it anymore. They get out of the hobby and sell their models or whatever, because eventually you're going to want to see, you know, something, you know, nice on the table that you did. And I can tell you, you can do it. I mean, you may not want to put that much effort in, but the first time you do it, it's worse. I mean, dude, you're gonna be like, I can't have a bad painted army on the table. I mean, that's pretty much how I feel about it. put this guy over here. Gotta clean these shoulder pads up a little bit. Yeah, this army's gonna be legit, I can tell. Okay. Boom. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if I could bring that wolf's head down more though. Seems like it would be better if it was further down. I probably could if I cut the things off. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I need to come down lower. It just seems a little too high for me. Let's see here. It's not like these are connected to anything anyway. And then we just glue it to the base of it, essentially. Come on, man. Yeah, that looks better. And it's only, you know, probably a 1/4 inch lower, but it definitely looks better. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's awesome except for the front of it. Dang it. I gotta do something about that. Oh, I know I can fix that. I'll just put paper on it. One of my favorite tricks is taking paper. If you're new to the channel, taking just a little piece of paper and doing a scab in a way. It takes almost nothing to do it. And you just sand and trim it up. And it's like the cheapest form of milliput or green stuff you've ever done. Doesn't work for every application, but it works for a lot. Hardens nice and everything else. Where are you at? So basically what was going on was I had a gap right here because of how, if you look underneath, you'll see where it's split. And so I'm covering the gap up with the paper. I'm gonna glue the paper so that it seeps in and makes it hard. And then I'm gonna sand that down and cut away whatever I don't need. And then you'll never even notice it when it's painted. I personally have never seen anybody do this. I think this is that I've pioneered this. It's definitely how I overcame the dreaded land speeder gappage. So annoying. I have never had a land speeder that did not have a gap. It did not matter what I did, how much I clamped it together, just did not matter. In the meantime, let that sit there. That looks pretty damn good to me. Alright, so now we want to put a little more stuff on. I've got 1,000 Suns head here that came with the models. I mean, it's, you know, it's for the base. I don't think there's a way for me to really put it on this thing. It's like for the base of your, you know, your characters or whatever. Like it's, you know, the helmet's in the ground. So I'm not gonna do that. Let's see. Oh, we want to put these horns on. That's right, my little Viking horns. Definitely want to put those on. And we need to, okay, this door, oh, actually, while we're doing paper, this door needs a paper piece. So, again, if you're new to the channel, back to the paper. These Land Raider doors typically do not, want to stay in when you put them in. So one method that you can use, putting paper on one side, and you know, you're bridging that gap and just making it a little bit tighter. Now this was clearly too wide. I cut that way too wide because I was cutting it with my the other way. I shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. We'll trim it up. And I mean, I could glue it on there and then cut it off, but it's a lot neater when you do it this way. Do the same thing, and I usually use the back side of the panel to do it. In my mind, it's, you know, it's less likely to be seen, but again, it will definitely bridge that gap. It'll be a little tight, but I mean, if you're, you know, it beats gluing the thing together and your door's falling all over the place all the time. So you want to cut it right at the corner, because otherwise it'll stick down a little further and it'll become a pain for you. So, and then just put yourself some glue back over the top of it just to harden it up. It'll make that paper hard like plastic. And if for some reason you don't have enough to fill the gap, then just put one more layer on. That's all you gotta do. Let that sit and dry for a second. Get that glue off my fingers. Alright, and alright, so the horns, we're gonna put these horns on. Where did the other horn go? There it is. Alright. And so I think I'm gonna put these horns near the front so that they are, you know, attention wise, you know, we see that. And I think I'm going to put them above, yep, I'm going to put them above the wolf head that is on the side here. And I just killed my gunner. He just died, so failed a saving throw. And we killed the wolf's head stormbolter, so that stinks, but no, I'm kidding. Alright, so we're going to put that up here. Yeah, that looks good. Mounting that right above the wolf's head and attached to the frag launcher. Let me look at that again. Alright, so yep, got it. And with these, I'm not worried about which direction they're both facing, because I mean, if I turn it over, then I lose the skull on one and I have a skull on the other. I'd rather have the skull, so I'm just gonna put them both, you know, on there as they normally would go, and then one will be facing one way, one will be facing the other. No big deal. Where is my thing here? Of course, it's underneath everything. Got a little bit of something going on here on the wolf's. Nope, I guess the brush wouldn't have taken care of that. The wolf's face there. Some kind of glue, something. Get out that little Dremel brush. Good to go. Alright. The door should be good now. It doesn't take long for that to happen. Let's just see how it fits, and hopefully we don't have to put another layer on. Normally I only have to do one, but nope, we gotta do another one. That stinks. But that's okay. We've got a little bit right here. Actually, we might be able to get away with just a small piece, which I would prefer, because I really don't want to have to sand all of that. Come on, man. That's another thing. You don't have to put, you know, the whole thing. You only have to have so much, you know, so much to bridge the gap. So whatever you feel like doing. And again, same process. Put some glue on it so it'll get hard. In this case, we've got some overhang on the back side, so I'm going to trim that off. Because you may want to lay your, you know, your door down for your guys to step on. And then just, you know, wherever you trim it, or, you know, make that paper bare, go ahead and put some more glue back over top of it. So again, you harden it up. And set that off to the side so it'll dry. And I'm going to pull out these bad boys here. Man, I'm half tempted not to put those on yet because I need to put the magnets on. Yeah, I think we're going to wait before I put those shields on. But for those of you that are new to the channel or just joining in, basically what's going on here is I'm decorating the heck out of this Land Raider, and for the shielding for the weapons, because I'll be magnetizing these so that I can do the heavy flamer as well as the hurricane bolters and las cannons. I've got all these storm shields from my assault terminators and whatnot, and they'll be going right here on over top of these, so that this thing's basically one big giant Viking boat with shields all over it. Let's see if I can bring that up and show you guys what I'm talking about without dropping it. But basically you get the idea, and it'll be the same one on each sponson. Whereas what we've done so far, we've made our own detailed doors. There we go. Not hard to do. Are we dry yet? Looks like we are. Let's do another test fit. Man, that is not. I don't know what's up with that gap. Oh wait, no, I just didn't have it in. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Let's put this guy back on. Wolf head guy. Put the storm bolter, wolf's head storm bolter back on. Oh yeah, that's a lot of embellishments around it. That looks good. Alright, so I'd like to put something else up top here, just because it just looks comparatively empty to everything else. So I've got to figure out what we're going to do. And these are not all the bits we have, of course. Now this is from a dreadnought, and I wanted to see if there was a way to implement this into the armor without having to cut it, like I did last time for my Blood Angels. Blood Angels? Yeah. I'm trying to remember what army we did last. I don't think this is going to work out the way I'd hoped, so that's okay. So we'll put that off to the side. We've got plenty of chains and crap like that, which I don't really care about. And this totem thing, I'm really not digging it. It's just not doing anything for me. I can use it for something else somewhere else, maybe as an objective marker, or I don't even know. But we've got all kinds of stuff still. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure doing that is the right thing. I'm almost thinking that we may want to. I feel like we need to have pelts up here. That's what I feel like. We've got pelts everywhere else. We should have some pelts up here, and at least right here and here. And I think that's what we're gonna do. So I know we've got those. I just gotta find them real quick. And I think what we're gonna have to try to do is experiment with one to see if we can flatten it. That's the only issue I have with the pelt in that regard. And I don't think I used them all. Maybe I did. Do we have another one hiding around in here? We have some legs. That's not exactly what I want. We put 4 on here. 5. Yeah, I guess this will be the last one. Well, that stinks. Kind of wanted one on each side. Don't see any more. Wait a minute. What do we got? We might have some more up here. Yep, there's one. The search continues, and we found it. There's 2 actually. I'll just stick all those over there. We'll cut these out, or cut one out. See if we can get this bad boy to flatten without breaking too bad. Be really nice if we can make that happen. Let's see here. Eric. So if we can make this flat without really breaking it, it'll be really awesome. I'm just not sure I can do. I don't want to break the feet, or I mean the toenails and stuff either. getting there. Well, at least flatter, you know what I mean? Yeah, there we go. We're getting there. Alright, that's not too bad. And we'll just trim it up like we did before. We'll check that out, see how that looks. It's not bad. It can't just sit there. So that's not bad. If it was draped over some, that would look pretty decent. Let's see if I can. There's going to be a lot of fur on this Land Raider. This Land Raider is going to shed everywhere it drives. Yeah, I'm looking at a couple lamps myself, man. But I need to reevaluate my desk space is what I really got to do, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I like that. That looks good. And are we out of glue on this thing? I think we are. Yeah. I also want to, you know, just kind of, I don't know, revamp my desk as a whole. Let's see. All right. Yeah, this looks pretty good right here. And the only thing I would change, if I was gonna, or the only thing, well, I think what we're gonna do is once I put this on, I'm gonna do the same thing maybe that I did before with the tails or whatever. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, let me look at this for a second. Nah, I'm just gonna put it in there like that. That'll be fine. This is gonna look awesome. It's gonna look really awesome. Kept bashing like crazy. Okay. Get that little bit of glue off of there. And I mean, we don't need much here. We're just putting, you know, just enough, you know, to give it some tie-in detail at the top, and it worked. You know, that's the key. Let's see here. All right. Clean this up on the edge here because it's not going to be square, obviously. And we'll try the other side somewhere. It won't be directly across because, you know, that just won't make any sense. It doesn't have to be directly across. We could tie it in right here, maybe. Let me move this guy. Yeah, we could do it right there. That'll work. Good. Oh, stuck to my finger. Not good. Don't want you sticking to my finger, man. awesome. This makes me think I should have not glued down the top, because then I could have painted the inside to go with how awesome this is going to look on the outside. But I'm like, dude, I've done that before. It's not worth it. I mean, okay, it's worth it, but I mean, I'm over it. I'll put it that way. Okay, so we got another couple of these little shields that we could tack on here to give it some feel of itself. Question is, will that be too shieldy? Yeah, they're the same kinds of shields, so that's probably not a good idea. Hold on a second here. Now we've got this one little, it's like a Space Wolf Aquila thing. I've never put one of these on, don't think I want to do it. I'm getting a little too crazy, I think. Maybe I did want to put some more of these wolf tassels on, I think, but I'm having a hard time trying to figure out if they would look good just hanging all over the place. I want to say, oh, we could put them on the bottom of the assault cannon like the other weapons are. Oh yeah, and on the bottom of the multi-melta. Heck yeah, man. That'll do it. We'll do that, and we'll call this bad boy done. I didn't even think about that. Heck yeah, man. Hunter's Paradise. Okay, I need one more little tassel thing. We'll do an opposite so that they're kind of spread out. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Alright, cool. Of course, that one's really big, but it's on a storm bolter. Nah, it'll be fine, because if it hangs down too far, it's gonna get in the way down here. Alright, so we'll put some glue on the inside. Inside of both of these, and then we'll hang them from the inside. That way it covers up the little hook, or whatever you want to call that. And I dropped it on the floor. Of course I did. Alright, where did you go? Alright, I got him. Yeah, you'll have that. I will say this is probably going to be the most pimped out Land Raider that I own, because I mean I did stuff for the other ones, but I don't think that they have this much detail, or by the time I get through painting them they won't have as much detail. I mean, it's going to be crazy, you know, the different colors and everything else like that, and that's the goal. I just don't want a gray blob of a Land Raider floating out there. You know, I want this thing to have some stinking character. Okay, well, it does not want to work on the side there, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and file this down here. And if you don't have these, I'm telling you, I cannot stress these enough. Get these freaking sanding twigs. You can buy a crap load of them on Amazon for next to nothing. Okay, what did I do with my Dremel? There you are again, hiding underneath things again. I love that little brush. I'm going to cut these pieces off here. And we're going to sand that flat so that we have something to glue it to. Get my sanding block out. Alright. And where is other one that's not curled? I must have pushed it somewhere. Oh goodness. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, either we'll find it or we'll find another one because we've got a million of these things. Cut that off. Welcome to all you new people. Appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't seen our very first video to see what it is we're working on, when you have time, I encourage you to check it out. It's I'm basically putting thousands of models together, and that's no exaggeration, that I've had for a long time that I just never had time to get to. And the goal is to get them all put together so that at least I can play with them. Hi, there it is. And then turn around and, you know, paint everything. So it's gonna be, in some manner of speaking, for some a monumental task, but I believe it's doable. I mean, am I gonna get it all done in a year? No. But I know that we can get it done. And if you don't believe it's a lot, trust me, watch the video. I've been accused of it being a store. It's not a store, it's my basement, my game room. And no, I'm not a scalper. I have bought a bunch of that stuff from scalpers at way too high a price, but I really wanted the models and the game, so it is what it is. We each have our own vices. Yeah, this is gonna look awesome. Oh yeah, that looks great. Once we get that, you know, where it's really glued, you know, halfway decent, I'll go back and re-glue it again. Right now it's pretty awesome. Alright, now let's try this multi-melta. Where could we put one on? I don't know, can we even do that? Because that's where it's shooting from. Seems like you'd set that thing on fire. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. And who knows, man, maybe I'll get some green stuff and I'll make some bigger pelts or something to put on top, but right now, this Land Raider, other than the weapons, which, like I said, I need to magnetize this stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Because I'm excited about getting this thing done. Hell, it's only 11 Eastern Standard Time here in the US. Pfft. Heck yeah, man. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, we didn't put the hitch and stuff on in the back. Gotta put that on too. That's easy. We've got some purity seal things we could put on. Or we could save them. I think I'm gonna save them. I'm gonna save them for a different Land Raider. Yeah, we'll save them. No point in using those. Let's see here. All right. Okay, I gotta put the gotta put the hurricane bolters together real quick. Take no time at all. And then we can glue these, you know, get the magnets set. Like I said, I need to do this first because I'm gonna have those shields on there, but once I put the shields on, these will not be able to lay flat at all, and I'll have glue and crap running everywhere. It's all part of the planning process, I guess, but just experience. Whoa, what did I just do? I'll go ahead and put this together too. Alright. Leave that over there for now. Yep. Okay, why does that one seem like it's broken? That's weird. Well, it is. And that's the second Land Raider like that I've pulled out of a box that's been like that. Oh well. Alright, brother. Well, we'll see you. Take care. Alright, why is that not going on there? What the heck? Why is that not fitting on there? Something's not right, ladies and gentlemen. Why? That is not fitting. Oh, never mind, I found it. This little piece right here. This piece. That should, yep, that took care of it. So we got a little burr here, or flashing. Get that off of there. I may need to put some more glue in here because I don't believe that I actually glued this one the same way as I did the other one. Pretty positive I didn't. So excited about this Land Raider, I'm just kind of flying through it. Alright. Let's grab the magnets. Just making sure I got the right ones here. When I do the heavy flamers, which I won't be doing tonight, I've got to actually what I have to do is I have to actually put a different size magnet on the heavy flamer. So, alright, let's see here. So what I want to do Let's see here. Where is, okay. Gotta make sure, nope, that's not the right one. These actually, you do have to pay attention to these because the skulls are different on different sides. If you don't pay attention, you're gonna screw yourself over, so you don't want to do that, obviously. Okay. So I'm gonna cut this little nub off right here. And then what I'm gonna end up doing is, actually I need a second one. I'm gonna put a tad bit of glue right here. Not a lot. Smooth it out because you don't want it to get squashed in there. Grab that. Slide that off. So that they're both on there. Slide it in as much as you can. And then I'm going to place this on there. I'm not worried about gluing it right now. I'm just worried about getting it in the hole there. Okay, so that's good. Now, I mean, like, just wipe the glue. Don't even put like hardly anything on there. Just wipe the glue on there. And then find the hole again. And then go ahead and glue that down. And then let it sit. And you need to let it sit. If you are impatient with it, it ain't gonna work. I'm telling you right now, it will not work. Let's see here. May have to hold it because it dropped a little bit. Yeah, it's not enough glue. The goal here is to make sure we don't have any glue dripping down over the edges, because if that's the case, it's going to glue both of your magnets together, and you don't want that to happen. You'll have plenty of time once this is glued to reinforce. You know, if you can get them apart, you have plenty of time to reinforce it with glue separately. The reason I do it this way is so I don't have to sit there and drill a hole in my stuff and all that. I mean, you don't really need to. Alright, same thing here. Cut off that little rivet right there in the middle. A little bit of glue, smooth it out. And part of the smoothing process puts glue on the nozzle, so you'll be good to go for that as well. Grab two of these. And I'm using my razor blade because when it picks them up, I'm gonna know that they're all gonna be the same by how they, you know, were attracted to the razor blade. And that means like throughout my other Land Raiders as well, because you may get to a point where you're like, well man, I've already got, you know, a set of weapons. Well, if you paint the weapons generic and don't do anything crazy to them, then you can just swap weapons out between all your Land Raiders. So again, I'm gonna wipe some glue here. I'll put a little bit over here, just to give me something to work with. Mainly so that kind of, in a way, air dries it or something. Nope, not quite. That sit. Hopefully it's still glued there. Alright, and really all we have, oh wait, I'm sorry, we still got to put these on. all we have left for this Land Raider, I'm gonna put a little more glue on these wolf tails or whatever on this assault cannon, twin linked assault cannon. Is really putting these two shields on those, and this, you know, because I'm not really planning on using heavy flamer for this. I mean, I may, but I can put that together later. And then this bad boy is done. For those of you again that are new, maybe you saw, I don't know if you saw what I did with the extra wolf head I had from I had 2 extra wolf's head from the Thunderwolf Cavalry, and I basically turned this into my Stormbolter, so I could use the Stormbolter somewhere else and also give the Land Raider some more character. And then I took the other one and I cut the ears in half, and then I put them, you know, together, and then I put them on the sides of the Land Raider as well. So we've been decorating this Land Raider all night. So if you feel like it, by all means go back, you know, 2 hours and 38 minutes and check out, you know, what the start of this whole deal was. I already had the Land Raider mostly put together, but it was really about decorating in this episode. And I mean, you know, a lot of people don't even bother with these little details, and that's fine. I mean, for me, you know, it's a lot of money that we spend on these models. And I mean, I bought these models, I think the Land Raider was probably $10 or $15 cheaper US dollars than it is now. I don't remember, but I believe so. And I mean, you know, I guess in my mind, why wouldn't you put the effort into getting everything out of your model as possible? So, but each to their own. It's not in there. There we go. It's kicked off a little to the side for some reason. All right. So yeah, we've put some wolf pelts on the side there. All those are from the Space Marines. Oh, I forgot, we need to trim this up here. We had a gap in this wolf face, so I used paper. If you're not familiar with doing that, in lieu of using milliput or green stuff, you can take paper. I think some of you might have came in right when I was doing the door, and you can take paper and do the same thing. It's basically like carpentry, you know, you're putting a scab on the hole or the weak part, and then you go back and you know, you sand it up, and once it's painted, man, you're not even gonna know what happened there. So it kept me from breaking out, you know, expensive green stuff and milliput to do this. Yep, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this Land Raider. I mean, I like my Black Templars one and my Blood Ravens, and I know I'll like my Salamanders one when I'm done making Drake cloaks and everything else. But right now, this seems to be the best one so far. So, it is what it is. And Space Wolves, as we figured out, was my very first army. even though it was very small. I didn't have any vehicles or anything. It was just troops, and really didn't have anything. I just had, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 squads of space wolves, like, you know, like 5-man squads, and then I had I don't know, some kind of captain of some kind. I don't remember exactly. Sorry, I've got this gap there that I just could not fill, and I've been gradually filling it with glue because it'll work. Alright, let's test this out here. I'm not actually going to pull these apart at the moment. I just want to go ahead and get them, well, you know what? No, I don't think they're ready yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue these on, just to get that going. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Yeah, that looks amazing. That really looks amazing. Be careful if you're doing it upside down like I just did. You might actually accidentally glue your thing on upside down, and then you're going to be like, oh man, I got glue everywhere. But again, that's where these come into play. They come in many different grit. Here, let me just show you. When you buy from Amazon, and I'm not affiliated with these people, okay, this is what you're looking for, and it's got all kinds of grit in here, okay, fine grit, super fine grit, you know what I mean? They're awesome. They're awesome. And a sanding block is perfect. And get yourself a real fine one. That's what I use for most everything. Makes your job so much easier. My attack squig is laying down again and making herself known that she's laying down again. Okay, I hear you. No, I can feel that we just lost the bond with the magnet underneath. Yeah, I probably should have waited a little longer. That's okay. We'll be alright. We'll be alright. Just smooth that out. Find the thing and then roll it back. I may have to put something underneath here. I think this chain sword could work. Nope. This bolter. Yeah, this bolter will work. Get it under both sides. There we go. Got another bolter here. Yep. You can use, I mean, anything can be a tool. Even your best friend. No, I'm kidding. Totally joking. There we go, man. So, aside from the bolter that's sticking out, get this where y'all can see it. I'm gonna learn this camera here. See what we got working here? I think that looks pretty good, don't you? And then that'll just magnetize and come right off for whatever other weapons that you need. Yep. I think we're done with the assault cannon. Put that back where it goes. Boom. Snack-a-lacka. This is the top. And let me turn this around so you can see the hood. Hopefully not drop everything. And then the side. Oh, I just lost the top. And again, you'll have that panel that'll be over there. Hold on. There we go. You'll have that that gun will be there with the panel. And let me take these off real quick and I'll show you the other side. Oop. As you can see, we've got the horns on there. We've got other shields, more pelts, and that other wolf's head. And I think it came out great. Put these up here and we're gonna let those things sit for the rest of the night. And like I said, what we've got left of this army is Stormfang gunship, 8 drop pods, might be 9 by the time we're done, and that's it for Space Wolves. And then we move on to the next one, whatever that's going to be. Sorry, my door fell out. I might need to put a little more paper on the side here. Let's see here. Yep, that's what we're gonna have to do. So I guess we're not done yet. No problem, we can fix this. So for those of you that haven't seen me do this or are wondering what the heck I was talking about, if you've made it this far, just take any old piece of paper, doesn't matter, cut yourself off a thin slice of something. And it doesn't even, I mean, typically you would want to go the length of the door just so it doesn't look odd, but I've already done that and it's not likely that you'll see what's going on here. Put yourself a little bit of glue down. And again, this paper is, you know, it's great. I mean, it's thin, it works. If you can get it on there. And all you're trying to do is bridge that gap. That's all you're trying to do. Of course, every time it sticks to your fingers, that becomes a problem. You can cut off whatever you don't need if you want to. Glue it so that it hardens up. Trim it if you want, which I'm going to, because you never know, again, when you might want to have that door laid open with your troops on it for display or something like that. And don't worry about it if it looks rough. You can always go back and sand it. Make sure you get glue on both sides because you don't want anything fraying on you. I'm gonna hit that little piece with a little bit of sandpaper. Telling you, once you got it painted, you're not even gonna know it's there. Not even gonna know. Might help if I actually get it in the doorway, right? that's a more secure fit right there. But since I just did it, I want to make sure that, you know, it does glue, so, and I don't want it to glue to the Land Raider. But we'll set that up there. And other than that, I appreciate everybody tuning in this long, and I hope that you'll like the channel, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.